What's going on, everyone? RedWolfVion here. In today's Community Spotlight, we have E.G. Magnum, who you have may seen in the podcast Downtime and Hangar. They were awesome enough to set aside some time to hang out with us and take part in this Community Spotlight. What's up, Magnum? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. Thank you for coming through and being here. It means a lot.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so I'm gonna just jump right into it off the bat. I'm gonna just start throwing questions at you, so we can just have a little bit of fun with this. All right. So
Okay.
we're both fans of Gundam and Gundam games and whatnot. Just in general, what got you into like Gundam, like the Gundam franchise itself?
Okay, so back when, which actually makes me feel old now because people don't even know. I actually don't even remember his name right now, but the really cool, Toonami, before, what is his name, Tom or whatever now.
Mm-hmm.
Gundam Wing was on there. Plus, things like DBZ, with Sailor Moon, and also if anybody's fan of Robotech,
Mm-hmm.
that was on there. And I love mechs. I love robots. So as soon as Gundam Wing hit, that's pretty much what got me into Gundam. I started with Gundam Wing, and I always loved anime. I didn't know it was anime at first, like a lot of people. Fun little thing, and I finally found the answer. So they did it's one of those network tests where they let people, let certain broadcasters have certain shows in certain areas to test how many people are watching it. I actually, when I was a kid, watched Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, and it was just on like Fox or something. I can't even remember what channel it was on, but I would be over at my grandparents on like a Saturday and watch it. And yeah, so that's what got me into anime in the first place, was apparently Dragon Ball, and I was part of the test group apparently. So that was a crazy. But yeah, Gundam Wing, that's where it all started. That's where my fandom for Gundam became a thing.
That's awesome. It's funny because I do remember watching Dragon Ball, the original OG Dragon Ball. It was either on Saturday or Sunday mornings. It came on super early, and sometimes I would just catch. I was like, "Oh, this is wild." He transformed into a giant monkey and all that stuff. It's cool stuff. But that's neat because I feel as if a lot of people have said the same thing, and it just goes to show Toonami has been a gateway for a lot of anime and influence, in a lot of people's upbringing, their childhood, whatever hoods they had, So it's really dope hearing that. So, of course, you're here because, you're part of the GBO2 community or Gundam community. I just want to preface that, people can be here and be part of not just the GBO2 community or any sort of Gundam community. Let's kind of slide into gears to GBO2 now, and we'll jump back and forth here and there, so bear with me. You told us what got you into, the anime franchise, but what exactly got you into Gundam Operation 2? Or did you play the older ones? Is this your first one? How did you get into playing Gundam games?
Okay, so another, I guess, back in the day kind of thing. The Xbox came out, and I heard about something called Operation Troy. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I did.
So I was insanely excited, and then in the magazine it said it wasn't going to actually release over here, and I'm big sad. But yeah, that was kind of the first time I heard of a Operation game. And actually, I think the 10th anniversary did it have Operation Troy in it? Was that part of the stuff they showed off?
I don't recall off the top of my head. I don't think so. Because I feel as if people would have talked about that a little bit more, but continue.
But yeah, but that's where I first heard of like an Operation game. Well, years later, and right after was it July that they actually had an English release, or was it like August or something that they actually had the English?
It was somewhere between. Yeah, it was between August and October, I think. It was somewhere around there, I feel as if. I think they announced it.
The English translation for like the Chinese players.
Oh, that was... I don't know. I actually made a video on it, but that was a couple of years back. But I do remember that was a thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can play in English! This is awesome!"
Yeah, that moment, like a month or two after that, it was around Christmas. A friend of mine started talking about it, and they were like, "Dude, look! We could just download it. All we got to do is make a JP account." And then so I made a JP account. I downloaded it around Christmas, and then I decided to get on my NA account and was able to log in because I had the JP account as the primary PlayStation, so I could do that. And that's pretty much how I was like, oh, okay, well now I can just play it on my main account. Well, this is what I want to do. So I'm in. Then I hopped in around that January-ish, closer to February. I can't remember exactly the date when I started, but yeah. And that's kind of how I got in. Just a friend of mine just was like, dude, look at this. And I'm like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Because honestly, I like my encounters in space. Pushing a box is fun into a spot that apparently you still fail, and you got to do it again. And, I had my new type factory going where I would just, delete each new type till I was trying to make a new type that was as good or better than Amuro. But I kept failing, so I was just killing a bunch of new types, apparently. But yeah, my new type factory kept failing. But other than that, the lock-on system, I like my versus. Cool. I like my fighting games. I'm a big fighting game fan. But I want to aim and I want to shoot and I want to, aim and shoot.
Feel
Just saying.
rewarded. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that a lot. And it's funny you mentioned Operation Troy because I actually made a Japanese Xbox account, right? But I had never figured out how to play Troy because I was so about Gundam way back when, for the longest time. And when I saw Operation Troy, I was like, oh my gosh, is he, oh, this is awesome, I need to play it. I managed to get a Japanese account, but I never got to play it. But it was unfortunate. However, I'm very glad other people do remember Operation Troy and the initial impact it had. You're like, okay, I want to play it. And it's like it puts it on your radar, and so you're like, if a game comes out like this in the West, or it comes like, I'm gonna play it. And shout outs to your friend who was like, hey man, you gotta play this game. You're like, oh yeah, I got to play this game. So that's really neat, because I know some people who they just watched GBO content before it was out in the US, and then they downloaded when they got the official English release. Some people just stumbled across it, and there's a lot of different stories. I just like hearing what brought people to GBO too, and other Gundam games and whatnot. So that's kind of exciting and reassuring that it comes from a place of passion, So more GBO2 talk. If people, I wanted them, if they have not seen it, I was a guest recently on your podcast and where we spoke of many things, but now I want you to tell people in GBO2, what is your favorite suit? Any cost.
Okay, so this one was definitely a hard one, because it depends on kind of what time frame it was in.
Okay.
So in the sense of most played suit, I think the record holder for that is still the Zaku Cannon, which has like 900 some games played. Like that. Like it's ridiculous. I don't think I broke 1,000, but I could be close. So Zaku Cannon is definitely way up there. The Dom Barrage has become a very staple thing. Everything's very intensify. Gotta intensify that barrage. So Dom Barrage is definitely up there. Probably the Dom Barrage, honestly. But now that we have, and then the MLRS. The MLRS, I have GPO2. I have like 3 figures of the GPO2 from back in the day when they were figures, not, like in Walmart, not like actual model kits.
Yeah.
So, I've got like the battle scarred one that they came out with, and then I got like just the normal one. And I love the GPO2 design. Stardust Memory is awesome, by the way. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's amazing. Big fan. Like MLRS definitely up there because, you know, if nobody's picked up the pattern yet, there's a lot of supports here. And then, of course, my green dream, or what most people call the bell pepper, is finally in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kshatriya.
Very nice.
And I would say that's probably my top 4, and I would say top 5 just because it also became a meme, and I like the meme. The big brain itself, the Dagdahl.
Dagdahl. So all these are solid choices because you know me, I would consider myself a support main first. Which brings to the next question: is it safe to say that your favorite role in GBO2 is support?
If I suddenly said Raider General, that would be the most odd thing ever.
I would totally be surprised, shocked, and low-key offended after you like named some solid support suits. I'm like, wow, he's a man of my taking. He's like, yeah, I like playing support. I mean,
yeah,
I like playing raid. Yeah, I'm a raid main, bro. If you don't, I would end this interview right now. But no.
See, I got to say that with the laugh, just so nobody can clip that out of context. I'm a raid main. But yeah, also I mean, there's so many good supports, like. But yeah, I have to say probably the Dom Barrage, those specifically, just the amount of games played. Like the game lock itself, I have almost 300 games in it. So I love that suit. That's a great suit.
I give you props because I have seen you run that suit, and I remember when suits like that first came in GBO2, I felt overwhelmed because I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many weapons and stuff. Do you personally, just general, do you prefer a suit with like multiple weapon options, or would you prefer a suit that has like, you know, maybe 2-3 options versus 5 that has a stronger mobility kit?
So I guess this kind of, I mean, this is kind of one of just the general like concepts in the game with like, say, the Mark II Gundam when it came out, and it was such a powerhouse, but it was also insanely simple. Whereas, arguably today, people will play the Gallus K, right? That's the general one.
I think so. Yeah.
But when the Gallus K came out, people were like, "Oh, this is the Mark II killer because it's, you know, you've got multiple melees and you can do the hand thing. You stab them with your hand, you know." And while it was a heavy attack and everything else, and now people actually play it quite a bit, see it from time to time. Just the Mark II was just so simple. You didn't have to do missiles and then more missiles and then the beam. It was just you shoot the beam.
Right.
You chunk their health with 2 melees because the melee for some reason was super gross, and you know they gave it a slap on the wrist with like a 5% nerf. But anyway, then I mean for real though, the Hyakushiki did less damage to me. I have a clip where the Hyakushiki did less damage as a support than the Mark II with just 2 melees. But anyway, that's salt. General shouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, but yeah, Gallus J came out. It was pretty much nowadays you'll see it from time to time. You know, Mark II kind of got power creeped a little bit, but it's still there because it's just a simple kit. You shoot the beam, you do your damage, you're done, and you know you can combo with the sealant or whichever one it is. You know, you get that little extra stun in there if you get used to using that, and you can stun combo with that. You can lock somebody down for a long time, and then you got really good Vulcans that do really good damage. Like it's just got a super basic, simple kit that is just really good, and that's, I mean, there's something to say about that. But if they do it right, they have complicated suits that are really good. Look at the Zusa, right? That's one of my favorites.
Okay,
I should have mentioned that one, right? I mean, I'm finding others, obviously, and you know, I definitely got to take it to the Isaac.
Yeah. I mean, because like Isaac itself is like a very strong contender too. It's one of the suits that I think we spoke before where. It's a support that I appreciate, but at the same time I hate, only because it legit will stop strategies on some teams, which is kind of cool.
But yeah, exactly. Like, other than random scam calls that just suddenly happened, but the Isaac though.
Sorry
But for real
about
though,
that.
the Isaac is like it's a simple kit, really. Honestly,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You got a grenade. You have to use the grenade on it. That's kind of where the skill cap comes in. Like
Yeah.
if you're not getting that extra grenade damage, that's why if I'm not hitting my grenades, then I end up with like 50, 60k. If I'm hitting my grenades consistently in between my shots, in between my melees, then I'm hitting 80 to 100k in it, pretty
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
And then you have, like you said, with the strategies, it's just so good at being able to see and predict and go wherever. And you have stealth, and if you
Yep.
actually use it really well and position well, then the raid pretty much should never get to you.
Right. Exactly.
The only thing is whenever you ping, that is your, hey, I'm over here. So a lot of people just use the ping when they can. That, I think, is kind of the mistake. You want to use the ping to figure out which one the raid is and then tag the raid and then hold the ping till once the raid's gone or way away from, and then use the ping as bait and then rotate.
Yeah.
It's like you took a sniper shot and then move.
Mm-hmm.
Only you're using the ping. So yeah, that's why I had to definitely bring up the Isaac, because it's simple, but it's a little more complex because its damage is, and I will admit, it is a little bit on the lower side. You have to hit your nades and you have to hit your shots. It's kind of like a sniper, but you're mid range.
So I love you explaining this, because I think we spoke briefly about this before, whereas like although both of us play supports, we seemingly play different kinds of supports. Like you definitely sound like the Zissa or the Barrage. Even though I do play the Barrage, you utilize like the Isaac and its kit like that. Versus me, I'm generally trying to legit snipe somebody or play dodge games with people. So like I really love hearing the difference in playing similar suits or playing same role but different styles, and it's really cool. That's why I love this game. It's so cool just to hear that.
Well, like two more suits that's interesting in this kind of topic. The Super Gundam, which I'm curious to hear how you play it, because I already know since we technically talked about it on the podcast, but we have two different styles of playing the Super between the two of us, which is really cool because it's probably the prime example of having the simple kit, because you literally just have your snipe and then missile afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But all the damage in that is just insane. So it's literally it's essentially the Mark II again.
Yeah,
I mean that's literally what it is.
It literally is, right? Just put the backpack on, yeah.
So like, but you play it more for the long range, and I mean, yeah, the gun has what, 700 for its beam rifle.
It's that and the GPO4 have the longest range in the game. Fight me, internet.
Yeah,
fight me.
I will insult the GPO4 a little bit.
Go for it.
Because now, before the buff, the GPO4 was literally just a super that played slightly differently. That had instead of the missiles, it had its extra gun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And while it felt good to use, you just had two melees and you didn't really have any identity, which I think now with the change that they did with its beam rifle, gave it a different identity than just you're a sniper and then you do if you get somebody as close to you snipe, then you combo. Now it's actually more of a, you want to get in there and kind of do mid-range too, to really take advantage of what they did to its kit so that it can just combo for days and days and days.
Yeah. And like those are two staple suits. Like in my opinion, I think they'll be around for a bit. Some people will say they're good. Some people say they're not good. People are entitled to their opinions, even if their opinions are wrong. But hey, it is what it is. But really, I wanted to jump back to Super Gundam, for example. Yeah, I usually play to its range first, right? And I usually, depending if I'm on ground or space, I would like to use my missiles as a mean of escaping. Seldom do I engage with my missiles first, unless it's like, oh, they're fighting an ally, let me go finish this dude, Otherwise, a lot of people don't realize, a lot of suits, the thing about GPO4 and like Super, GPO4 can move and shoot all the shots, you know what I'm saying? Super Gundam, however, you have to stop for your beam rifle, but you can dash and move while you're shooting the missiles, which is absolutely amazing tool. If any of you watching have played either of these suits or Super Gundam, please make sure you can you realize you can move while shooting these, because that brings it to a whole nother level. I probably could talk about supports all day and every day, but we're gonna save some of that for next time because I still have some more questions for you.
Okay.
Let's take it back some. So I know you're definitely experienced in GBO2 and whatnot, and you play it. It's just a passion game, you know. But I want to, you know, kind of highlight some things about you. So, what other games do you play aside from Gundam?
Everything.
Everything.
I love games, so I mean, kind of a little bit of history, I guess. I was recorded by my parents playing Super Mario on the Super Nintendo when I was like 2. So I've been gaming quite a bit since forever.
yeah, awesome.
So you know, I love my old classic games. If I had a way to stream those, I would definitely do like one life runs, trying to get back into doing like Gradius. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Love bullet hell stuff.
Yeah.
Fan of that. Just games that I play right now though, and some of the stuff I guess I stream. League of Legends, Udir's getting changed. I'm gonna check that out soon.
Yeah.
And MOBA, I love MOBAs. I'm a MOBA addict.
Are you?
I compare GBO2 to a MOBA a lot because it's, you know, you're shooting. It's a different style, but I also played Paragon, which was kind of like a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
And I was actually on one of the teams for that, so I am a MOBA addict. I get locked into MOBAs hard, and GBO2 feels like one to me, and that's I think why I was so drawn to it. At the same time, it's what I've been looking for in a Gundam game, but also, you know, like Pokemon Unite, big into that. They just had this very swole mosquito, literally called Buzz Swole. Which I was like, I literally could think of that being a joke name, but okay, it's actually its name. Escape from Tarkov, I'm addicted to that. I can't escape right now. Path of Exile just got a new league, playing that. Lost Ark, played a bit of that. The only thing is Amazon kind of made it more pay to win, and there's some other problems there, so I've kind of dropped off of that. If they get closer to the Korean version, then might go back. But yeah, you know, gacha games. This is my first, and that's one of my things. But I did try Genshin. But you know, for Genshin, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of here for the story, I guess. I'll just kind of check it out, see where it's going. Kind of curious to see where they go to, you know, where the story is going. It's actually kind of interesting a little bit. So I was like, okay, I can check back, and you literally don't need to put anything into it for that. So that's where I am with that being a gacha game. It technically is, but I've really, you know, I've never put a penny into it. So
yeah.
I know you play Final Fantasy 14. I need to get back into that. Now we can do cross data centers, so it doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't
I need to get back into that. My friend's trying to get me back into WoW. I mean, yeah, pretty much multiverses is a thing. I don't have a Switch, so, you know, if you don't have Smash, just play Multiverse. There you go.
Hey,
love Monster Hunter.
See, I just want to jump in and say already, like, we play some similarities of games. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a checklist, I'm like, check, check, check. Check, check, check. So
yeah,
it's really good because if anyone who's not met you or seen your content, you do play a vast variety of games. So that is actually what I really appreciate about you, because it's not just, you know, Gundam all the time. Mind you, I love Gundam. We both love Gundam. But you're like, all right, I'm going to play Monster Hunter, or I'm going to play Tarkov. You know what I'm saying? And I just love seeing that, where people can appreciate different kinds of games of different varieties and different levels, you know?
Yeah, just every game. Yeah. I love games.
Yeah, so no, hashtag I love games. You know what I'm saying? Another question I almost forgot to ask you here. I know we're getting closer to time here, but I have to ask all the guests, regardless of what I ask them in general. If you were placed into a Gundam series timeline, what series would it be and why?
This one. Let's see. I would have to say, it actually just hit me right now. I know it. I was thinking Wing because that's where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a why, right? I just be
Yeah.
like, I want actual Gundanium, like
Yeah.
literally the Gundanium that is indestructible essentially. But it has to be G Gun. Because that is the wackiest, craziest show. Like, that is the DBZ of Gundam, actually.
And you would have so much fun. You would have so much fun in the world of G Gundam because you're not you're piloting a different way. You're in a spandex suit, and it's like ready. It's ready for you. You know what I'm saying? Oh gosh, like you punch, it punches. I love ideas like that, and we would probably be a lot more fit because I don't know if all Gundam pilots could be as fit as they are in real life. You know what I'm saying? So
there's that.
They sit there all day and just press buttons. So some would be fit, some wouldn't. But I mean, it is what it is, So don't worry about the why, but I respect the Gundam Wing pick. So when I follow up with this question, what would be your favorite suit out of the entire series of all Gundam series out there?
Yeah, this is another hard one. This is like me trying to pick my favorite support in the game.
All right, I'll give you two picks.
But probably the Wing Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Back where it started, and I mean, because of the game, I love the Dom Barrage. It's kind of one of those things. Like a lot of the supports I like. The GPO2 is definitely probably up there as one of my favorite suits, period. Just design-wise, what it can do. So it'd probably be the GPO2 and the Wing.
Nice.
But quick honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
Barbatos Lupus Rex.
Yes.
Dom Barrage.
Yes.
Let's see. I guess the Master Gundam.
Yes, bro. So
like,
it's
I got one from each series, kind of.
Right, and I feel like, listen to your favorites. You appreciate power and swag. You know what I'm saying? Like just hearing some of these suits, like you can't go wrong with Wing Z. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's just a ballin' suit. Rifles, ballin' rifles. Master Gundam, Master Asia is just dope. It's really really dope. So, hearing your favorite Gundams here, I love hearing this. But I do have probably about 2 more questions for you before we wrap up. I want to jump to this next one real quick. Are there any, interesting facts you'd like to share about yourself before we start to wrap up, though?
Let's see. Something that I don't think I've talked too much about, other than, yes, I've played music. In the sense of an interview, I guess I actually was interviewed in college because I did music. So I did. I started with a scholarship to be a music major, actually,
Awesome.
and then after that, I decided to be music, business management, information systems, and a physics major. But yeah, music. I love music. I love writing music. Working on synthwave right now.
Nice.
Love that. And yeah, I played percussion. My favorite instrument is the marimba. If I had to pick one instrument to have for the rest of my life and all instruments would disappear, it would definitely be a marimba. Close second would be the vibes, because then you definitely get nice jazz in there. Jazz vibes is amazing. But yeah, I'm a percussionist, and I mean I play other stuff too, like trombone and things. But definitely marimba's my favorite thing to play, and yeah.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I love hearing stuff like that because you never know until you ask people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here. The only instrument I've played was a trumpet. Long ago when I was in school, and I wanted to learn violin to just learn one song, but I like never got around to it. I bought a violin and everything, but it got messed up, and I never got back to it. So props for you being able to read, write music, and create music. I love music. I really, really enjoy it. That's another conversation we have another time because I can talk about like some OSTs real good and some composers real good. So,
Oh yeah, dude.
now I have a fun question here, and I want to see what you say. So, being one of the members of Downtime in the Hangar, between you, Gaming Emblem, and Gustav, who would win in a pie eating contest?
Okay, well, putting aside me being a diabetic,
Put that aside. That doesn't.
I would definitely.
Okay. Cool.
No contest. I can down so much food. I've done a couple of the like eat this in an hour things. So,
oh gosh.
yeah, like 72-ounce steak kind of deal, which felt good until they were like, oh yeah, some girl came in, and there's actually a YouTube video of her doing it, and beat the record in like 4 minutes.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and then she ate another one.
Oh
so
no.
she ate 2 of them. She ate the entire meal twice in like less than 10 minutes.
Oh gosh.
Literally, I think I weighed it. It was, and how much she weighed, it was like an eighth of her total body weight food in 10 minutes. I'm like,
gosh.
okay, well, I mean, I finished it, I guess.
Look, don't.
At one point I was like,
you don't take it away from me, okay?
right? But yeah, that was that was definitely a crazy one.
That's pretty cool. I can't wait to see how you respond when you see what your boys respond with, because I did ask them the same question, so we'll see what they respond with. So wrap. I wanna get ready to wrap some things up, if you don't mind. Here, I know we're having a lot of fun. It's really cool, but more importantly, for those who are meeting you for the first time, where can people find you and your content?
On Twitch at EG_Magnum. So twitch.tv/EG_Magnum. I got a Twitter, Discord that you find a link at the bottom under the Twitch, and a YouTube channel. Type in EG Magnum and probably GBO2 if you want to find GBO2 specific content. Got some tabletop stuff on there too, and a few things like that. And yeah, I stream right now, technically, even though I think I do have a schedule on there. It's a little bit sporadic these days, but yeah, any of those places. Also, one thing I am curious about, if you don't mind me asking one quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
What is your favorite Gundam series?
See, this is biased because I would say Gundam Build Fighters. People are like, oh, that's a cop-out. I'm like, I don't feel like it's a cop-out because I think watching Build Fighters after watching so many other Gundam series, like, made me appreciate that series that much more. If we said without Gundam Build Fighters, I'm more inclined to probably be... this is tough because I have my favorite suits, but also my favorite series. I would probably say either IBO or 00 in terms of like favorite series. You know what I'm saying? But man,
I do like the combat in IBO is one of my favorite. It reminds me of Breakblade, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
My favorite though, this is easy for me.
Yeah.
My top two.
Yeah.
8th MS Team, number
beautiful.
1.
Yes.
And Thunderbolt, number 2.
Yes. So those are really good picks, and I love how there was like, OC versus UC. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just love hearing that. And you guys know I'm a weapons rat. like enthusiast. Like I will preach this thing's. If it's an Easy 8 with a big backpack on its back, I will preach this thing to the cows come home. That's my baby.
Let's go.
But no, that's actually really cool and very sound choices, because I know some other guests had mentioned that as well. I'm curious if you guys are watching this video, comment your favorite series below. I also have his contact information, if you want to get his credit card information, social security. I'm just kidding. If you want to follow EG Magnum on Twitch, as well as other platforms, I'll have all the information in the description below. Magnum, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for chilling and hanging out with us today. I'm very happy to have you. You've been around here for a while, so I appreciate you. You're awesome. Guys, I'm gonna let Magnum sign off. Before I do that, I just want to say you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting not only myself but other content creators checking this out. Make sure to like this video so we can keep doing it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next time. Magnum, I'll allow you to sign off and say what you got to say, buddy. Take it away.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's been a ton of fun. I love to talk about Gundam. Yeah, also, by the way, in that info, I did include Emblem's PIN number, 8523. Don't forget that. But yeah, everybody stay intensify. Yeah, have a good one. Peace!